everyone. My name is Nhi from the Australian Hospitality Alumni Network Vietnam. And first of all, on behalf of our team, I would like to say Happy New Year to everyone and welcome you taking time to attend webinar Hospitality 101 Word of Event. This is the ideal for the entry-level hospitality student who would like to explore the event planning story and an opportunity for you to virtually meet our industry expert. So this is the agenda of the event today. We will start with the greeting and introductions, then the presentations of all our guest speakers, and we have the mini game, and the last one is the panel discussion, the Q&A. So the first one briefly introduced about our background and the Hospitality 101 webinar series. AHA Vietnam is founded in 2014 by Ms. Camelia Ding with the purpose of building a platform for Australian hospitality graduates and connecting them to the right resources of information and support for their career opportunities and growth. The Hospitality 101 webinar series is a group of educational webinars which provide an overview of the global hospitality and tourism industry. The webinar word of event today is designed to give an introductions of what event industry is about and to explore the global opportunities to alumni and students in hospitality industry. And attending here with us today, I would like to introduce our guest speaker. They are all the experts with many years of experience in the event industry. The first is the representative of wedding industry, Ms. Jenny Dương Vũ Hoàng Anh. She is the founder of Wedding by Hoàng Anh, as well as the Wedding and Special Event Vietnam. The next is one of the most energetic ladies that I have ever met, Miss Amy Fan, the chef country representative of German state of Garland Phi. And finally, our founder, Miss Camelia Ding, the founder of HA Vietnam. And to understand more about the event industry, I would like to introduce our founder, Ms. Camelia Ding, to share and introduce the general information of the event industry. Hi, Camelia, can you share your screen or something to introduce for us? I will stop share.
Sure. Thank you, Nhi, for the introduction. Happy New Year, everyone, first of all. And I hope wherever you are well, healthy, and happy. I have seen as well a few people from different cities in Vietnam and also from India and other countries. And very glad to have the chance today to invite you to our fourth webinar. We actually started in October, and we are committed to provide a monthly webinar to all of our alumni and attended network for those who would like to learn more about hospitality and tourism in overall. What I'm going to do now is I'm going to share my screen on the introduction for event management. Can you let me know if you can see my screen?
Yeah, we can see your screen.
Okay, so it's very brief, and I'm trying to make it quick and fast and interesting for you guys as well. It is called the Introduction to Event Management. And just before I start to the main part, I want to get a brief introduction about myself based on my experience. Hopefully would be able to help you guys on learning more about events. My background, I have over 10 years experience working mainly in hotels, and in particular I do the event planning part and also sales marketing as a sales marketing specialist. And apart from my main job at hotelier, I was also the founder of two different organizations here with the Beautiful Vietnam to support women with entrepreneurship, business support, as well as for lifestyle services. And my main job for today is the founder of the Australian Hospitality Alumni Network. We hope that we can bring more knowledge and support to the network that we created for the Australian Hospitality Alumni and our extended network. In terms of education as well, I have a bachelor degree in international event management. So if you ask for somebody who study events and working in events, and I'm probably one of them, and I'm also holding a executive MBA from the RMIT University as well. For the sharing today, what I want to cover is there are 6 different parts that I want to cover bit by bit. Starting with a definition of event, so that we would know how is an event defined on your term or my term or our term, and we would get to know different types of event based on size and characteristic. And what is the role of an event manager? What do you think is a job description for an event manager? What do they do actually? We also get to explore what are the career opportunities when you say you want to work in the industry, as well as some updates and trends from the industry that you should know about. Okay, so before giving you the definition of the event, I want to show you a picture here. What did you see in the picture? Okay, we have our chat box here, and also you can open up your mic so that we can engage a bit more. So I have a picture here. Yeah, what do you see in the picture? Okay, so what do you see here in the picture? Okay, in the chat box here, a baby child, a baby, sleeping baby. Okay, so the word which is more repeated is a baby. What do you think? Why do you think I bring up the image of a baby when I talk about events? What does it have to do with event? Can someone give me a shot? Like, why do you think a baby make the attendee feel safe like a baby? Okay, thank you, Hill. I don't try to scare you, but you're right. Okay, I hope you're feeling safe like a baby, not going to attack you. That's a good try. Anybody want to give a second thought? Take care. Okay. Okay, so the reason that I'm showing now a picture of the baby like this is just to tell you that even the fact that the baby is born is an important event. Okay, because the mother have to bear the child for 9 months, and there's so much preparation in advance to welcome the baby. And the moment that we have the baby is a very important day, which we call, which day that when the baby is born, we call a birthday. And from that moment to the rest of his or her life, there are so many different things that happen, which are called events. Can you actually throw me some ideas of what type of event that you can see during the life of a person? What type of events can you see? So when I'm a baby, I'm born until I'm 18 years old, what type of event that I could have to do for myself or for the people around me? Birthday? Any other things that we need to do? Only birthday? Graduation, very important. Thank you, Nan. Okay, there are a few different things that we do. Wedding, obviously, very important. Oh, and a single life party. So it's a bachelor party, right? There are so many different things that we do on a daily basis, or even like yearly, monthly, depends on different milestone of our life. I'm giving some example here, right? You have your first birthday, and you have first day of preschool. Like first time you go to school, you have your graduation, you have your wedding, or even the funeral as well. Like that's part of life that we have. So even when we don't work at an event planner, we already see that the event is something that is connected to us very close. And in fact, I think each and every one of us is an event planner in a way that we learn how to manage ourselves. So event management is somewhat life management in a way. And I even think that even for your funeral, you can even plan it ahead, like who's going to do what. Obviously, the only thing that you cannot do is on the day of the funeral, but it's just something for me to share. However, after giving you all of these examples, what I really wanted to say is once we know that event is actually one of those basic activity in our daily life, when it comes into an industry, that is how we turn all the daily need into service. And that is what we can actually give a definition into events, which is something that happened at a given place and time for a reason with someone or something involved. So that is how we turn event into service that have a purpose, that have the people who are involved, that have specific time, specific location. Okay, so I hope that would somewhat give you that basic understanding of what event is about. Okay, so when we know about what event is about, what else do we need to know? So for events that come with so many different sizes, and if we study event management, people would give you 4 different definitions. They call mega events, are those largest event in the world. I'm not sure what you're thinking of right now, but from the event management perspective, those events are often the event target to international markets. And the largest one on the planet have often got to do with sport events. For example, the FIFA World Cup or the Olympic Games are the very, very big one. So in the future, maybe if somebody do, oh, I'm working in event industry, you have to understand the size of the event, the scale where they work. Like, so what are you doing basically? Oh, I work for FIFA. How do you think about it? Okay, that sounds like you're doing a major thing. And then in a smaller scales, normally on a regional scales, for example, the type of event that used to promote a destination. For example, here I say in Vietnam, we have a beautiful ancient city in the central Vietnam called Huế, and every year we do a festival event, become a hallmark event to promote this destination. That is one of those examples called hallmark event, or the famous Melbourne Cup event in Melbourne. That is actually a horse racing event. Every year attract 1 million people watching. From the screen or directly in Melbourne, the lady dressing really nicely, just like a spring festival, or even some event, they might be considered a small event in general basis, for example, wedding. However, when it comes to wedding of celebrities or very famous people, for example, the British royal wedding, that also become hallmark event because of the impact of that event can create. And then we also have major events that is more onto a local scale, but that can also help to attract a large target number of audience. For example, we have the Mid-Autumn Festival in China or in Vietnam, or our Lunar New Year as well. So every year we see there's a festival coming. We see also that many people are going to spend money on that, and that helps to boost the local tourism as well. And the rest of other events that we see is actually the one which is more common to us. They are called minor events. So minor, the word minor actually means that they are small in terms of size compared to the rest, that they are actually everywhere surrounding us. Here we have a lot of meetings, parties, celebration, wedding. So all that sort of thing are under the category of minor events. Okay, so the event here, when we call into different sizes and we give example into that the events also being classified as well based on the type and characteristics of events as well. So with this, we divide them into different categories, saying sport events. We also have entertainment, arts and cultures, and then commercial, marketing and promotion event. And today I'm sure there's going to be a speaker who's going to touch into this part for you. And then there's a very common term for those who work in hotels and also tourism. that is called MICE events. MICE is a creation of a meeting, incentive, and conference and exhibition or events. So this is a common type of residential meeting, targeting for corporate mainly. There's a multinational company who travel all around the world, and they pick destination for them to host meeting, and also enjoy the local community tourism in the meantime that bring a lot of money to the destination itself. And MICE business have become a very important part in the event industry. Then we have fundraising event for those who want to raise money to support organizations. That is also an important part. Then family event, for example, birthday, weddings. And then in between, we can always have a miscellaneous event, meaning we can mix one with another. So that is very brief about the type of event that we have. So just a very quick one, because sometimes what is so interesting about event is they just happening around us without we even notice that. For example, when a new Starbucks opens in your city, what does Starbucks have to do to make sure that on the day of the opening, people are going to be there and queue for that? Okay, before iPhone having a new product, what does the company have to do for the whole world to know? So that is part of event management. We have someone from India today, so you might be able to recognize the event. It's one of the hallmark event in India, the Holi festival. Is it correct from what I'm saying? So it's a festival that people use a lot of colorful powder and then just to make a very vibrant and interesting event from everywhere in India. And then we have fundraising event. And then the last picture that I have here is the Mardi Gras, the gay and lesbian festival designed for the LGBT or even people who support the LGBT community in Sydney, which is something really famous in Australia for the LGBT community. Okay, and very brief on event management. What are the roles of those event managers in general? Okay, so while there are so many different parts when got to do with events, the event manager roles is more onto a general role. Okay, I actually, when I got asked by my parents that I study event management and I want to become event manager, and my parents actually asked me, so what do you do specifically? Are you an MC? Or what do you do? Or are you like set up all the room? Or are you preparing food? Or what do you do in between? And I actually have to tell them that it's very difficult for me to explain to you. But basically, my job is 70% or 80% of the time sitting on a table, planning and coordinating with other people doing things. And the job is to make sure that I could control the entire process from planning to the day of the event and until both post-event as well. It's more onto the job of coordination and running and planning everything at the same time to make sure that my goal or the client goal are met, and we ensure that the event is a great success. So at the end of the day, the event manager or the entire event management process is somebody who's held responsible for the success of an event, no matter what happened in between, no matter how many people or many stakeholders are getting involved. And the primary function of an event manager is not just about talking to people on the day or being an MC or whatsoever. We actually have to touch into every different aspect of a business that got to do with marketing, got to do with finance, human resource, operation, and also product, and then taking care of our competition as well. So we say there are various functions that we have to look after. And what can you do within the event industry? Because as I mentioned earlier, we see event everywhere in our daily life, from our leisure needs into business, into so many other aspects as well. And it is also connect to almost every single industry that we work on. So what we can see here is you can almost work in any places as an event specialist or to find a job within the event industry. You could either work in arts and entertainment, you can work for organizations because for sure they're gonna need event. You can work for like major sport association like FIFA, Olympic or SEA Games. And you can also work for the government to also organize many of the diplomat visits. Say, although every time that the US president come to Vietnam, come to India, who's going to help responsible for that? Obviously, when you work for the government, you would need to be able to take care of that. And a very important part here that I put in the center, which is the lodging industry and hospitality and hotel, travel, service, luxury industry is a very important part. If you would like to be part of the event industry, you can also try this segment. And last but not least, very important is the security, because most people might actually overlook this, but security is a very important part of the event. I remember when I first put the baby picture of the baby in the beginning of my presentation, people say that I do it because I want to make sure that people feel safe. So the security part is somewhat doing that job as well. When we have event, depends on the level of how important it is, how many, the level of VIP attending the event. We also have to make sure that the security is always there to ensure the safety of the event in general. So as you see here, there's so many different areas that you can explore within the event industry for those who want to be part. And for trends and updates, very quickly, this trend is not new except for the COVID part that we mentioned anyway, that got more to do with the safety measurements and then control for visa and other aspects when it comes into hosting an event. So there's so many different trends. For example, you also have to start to think, what about the maximum capacity, not just about the venue itself, but for COVID safe reason. And they're going to be the trend for hybrid events that combine in-person meeting and also with the support from technology, because some people cannot fly to the destination to attend the event. So we would need the support from the screen, just like we're doing right now as well, that most of our events right now have been switched into online. And then the social media have been here for a long time, but over the past decade, saying 10 years, the revolution of these social media also having a major impact on the event industry as well, because we can almost host an event in every single saying social media platform here. You see more people live streaming, you see people tweeting, you see people sharing information, and everything go on live right now thanks to the growth of social media. And last but not least is the trend for sustainable events, that people would need to think more for waste management, how much food is enough for the event, how much flour is needed, or are we making sure that we don't spend too much money or too much thing that we don't need for the event? Or are we still using plastic during our event or whatsoever? So all of those factors are being something very important right now for us to bear in mind, because there are more and more policy being applied for this. This sector got to do with sustainability. And that would bring me basically to the end of my talk. And I think for question and Q&A, we can basically go to our Q&A part. Nhi, is it okay? Nhi, you're mute.
Oh, sorry. Thank you, Camelia, for very detailed information of event industry. So we have learned that the event industry is really a dynamic industry, including many different types and ways of organizations. And everyone knows that every events are always popular regardless of any organizations, and in the companies or corporations cannot like both internal and external events, because it is one of the most way to maintain that collective more sustainably. And to better understand about the corporate event or the high class party, we have invited here Miss Amy Fan, the most she is here to discuss and share about the event, especially for business like MICE event. So hi Amy, can you share with us? You can share your screen now.
Okay, so soon already. Okay, I was actually expecting Huang Anh to speak first. Okay. So so as we heard from Camelia already, there are very different types of events out there. Wait, let me share the screen with you. Okay, so can you see my screen? Okay, so a little bit about myself and why I am here for this webinar. I have more than 10 years experience in the marketing industry. Within the marketing industry, I have more than 8 years of doing professional events, different kinds of events in not only in Vietnam, but also in Singapore and in Thailand. And in my experience, events, it is a very big word. It combines a lot of meanings and a lot of tools that you can use within the event industry. And also, as my current position right now, I'm working for the German government. I am the chief representative of one German state, the Ministry of Economic Affairs. And we do have the representative office here in Vietnam to do, again, a lot of events, promotion, marketing work for different types of industries. And also, beside of my main work, working for the ministry, for the government, I also have a small organization. It's a more non-profit events organization that I do for the targets being women, the business women Saigon. This is also where I do a lot of events and promotion works for women in general, women in business. So let's get to my presentation today. So I want to talk today about the definition of what is an event, more on the marketing side, what kind of different types of events there are that you can use for a more commercial meaning, for a more marketing and promotion meaning, and of course, how do you manage an event. So what is the definition of events? So as we already know from the presentation earlier from Camelia, there are a lot of definitions of events, but basically in my field, meaning with the marketing background, an event is first of all a project management, meaning what? So there is something you need to do, a project, and you have to manage it. It can be a small project, it can be a medium-sized project, it can be a big to huge project that you can manage. And also especially events or the project here with the meaning is a creation and the development of a special occasion, meaning there is something special about this project that you need to do, that other people understand the meaning of it, the occasion of it. So, and with the question of an event, so you have to always ask yourself, who is going to do the event, right? And why are we doing this? So meaning, why is this project important, or why is this occasion special? And especially when, so meaning, when is this project gonna start, or when is this occasion special? So, and if you have the answer to this three main question, meaning you already have the purpose to do an event. And why do I use the word purpose? Because the word purpose here in my field especially is very important. Purpose, goal, objective. So different types of events. We see here already parties, weddings, birthdays that we already know. These are more the private events, meaning it is, you can also say the specific word in the industry, it's B2C, meaning it is business to customer. And there are different types of events as well. For example, there are B2B, meaning it is business to business. So, and these events can be with a cultural background. For example, we saw earlier Olympic festivals. So these can be to customers, can be to business, but it is held in different countries. So meaning it does have a cultural background. Or entertainment events, so meaning music festivals, for example, music festivals in America, for example, Coachella, that's one of the biggest entertainment events that we know. There are charity events. This is something in between because it, again, can be all of what I have mentioned with a different purpose. But all in all these different types of events, you always have to remember, need to have a purpose. And I think there comes the English language. It's very beautiful if you can understand it. So at each event of those kinds, they have an objective and they have a goal, meaning in Vietnamese, unfortunately, there's probably only one meaning, but in English, there is the objective, meaning that what you want to achieve for a longer term. And there is the goal, meaning the achievement on right at that point of time. So meaning, for example, you have a charity event, right? So the goal of the charity event, for example, for tomorrow is Sunday, you need to raise a certain amount of money, but the objective of that charity event is that a lot of people will know about the organization doing charity, raising money, not only for tomorrow, for the Sunday, but for the next 2 years. So that is the purpose of for example, a charity event. Okay, so next point is, sorry. How do you manage an event? So what do you think? Give me some answers. So what do you think necessary to manage an event? Any ideas? Just type it down into the chat. Do we have any ideas? Time management, okay, that's very accurate. That's very important as well. And any other ideas? Just write it down. There are no wrong answers. Teamwork, risk management, yeah, okay. Funding, nice. Okay, I mean, besides of Camellia, of course, I see that a lot of you do have a little bit of a background or the understanding of event management already. Okay, so let's see. First of all, you have, before you start to run or to organize an event, you have to understand, first of all, because who is this event for, first of all? For example, private events, you see the picture of Camellia with the baby, right? So an event including that baby. So what is that event? Who is that event for? I mean, of course, probably not for the baby, because the baby would not understand or has the need to have the event, right? But because the baby is a part of the event, you have to understand what is the event, who the event is for. So the question is whom, meaning you have to know your target. So for example, you have children as target, you will have a different kind of event than, for example, you have adults as target, for example, young adults as you. If you go to an event where they have a little animals and a playground equipment, you will not be attracted to that event because the target is not you, the target are small children. So an event, to make it successful and to make it meaningful, you have to know your target first. And then, of course, you have to know where you want to do your event. For example, you want to do a birthday for your grandparents. So you probably will not rent a venue at, let's say, a sport stadium, for example, right? So you will rather go to a nice small restaurant where it's not too loud. Or for example, if you have a music festival, you probably will not rent the venue for the music festival at the zoo, for example. So the location, the venue is also a very important point in order to prepare and organize an event. And then next is what. So meaning you know who your target is, you know where it's gonna be. So what will you do in order to attract them, in order to get your messages over to them? So for example, you have a charity event, right? And the charity event is for orphaned children, right? Orphan children, and you want to raise money in order to help raise those children. So first of all, who are the target for that charity event? So probably you will not go to a fancy hotel or a fancy a restaurant. So you will find a more low-key location, more family friendly. And then what will you do on that event to attract people to come, right? So there are a lot of different kind of activities that you can propose, that you can come up with, that you can create in order to make that event impactful for the people who come, and that they actually understand the meaning of the event. So, and in order to do such an event, of course, you need to have a lot of imagination. So you need to be, or you should be, creative. So meaning to thinking out of the box, but also to have experience. And then, of course, very important is you need to know your budgeting. So meaning if you only have a small amount of money, but you want to do a big event, that's of course not possible. So you also need to be able to calculate the budget and to work within a budget. And then of course you have to coordinate. So meaning the moment you have all of those things already, so then you have to start to plan. So what is gonna be needs to be done first, what is the second step, what is the third step, and then also especially who is going to do the first step, who's going to do the second step, who's going to do the third step. So meaning in the event management in general, as a lot of you already said, teamwork is very important because one single person cannot do everything. time management is very important because you have, for example, just only 2 weeks to prepare an event. So meaning you have to know what is the first day, what you're going to do on the first day, what is going to be done, needs to be done, and the second date, and so on, right? Here in Vietnam, especially, I want to talk about, because I do have experience in the marketing events, meaning all of the events or the activities that I'm doing for the Vietnamese market with the purpose of branding, with the purpose of marketing. So what is branding and what is marketing events? So it is definitely different than, for example, what Hoàng Anh is going to tell you about the wedding industry, because the wedding industry is with the personal purpose. So the marketing and the branding events have the purpose of letting customers, letting normal people know about a specific product, and most of all, those specific products do target a specific audience. For example, an event for Samsung, for example, right? For the Samsung phone, there are specific levels of Samsung phone. So, for example, the new Samsung Flip phone that costs more than, I don't know, 20 mil, they will probably not target young adults, for example, young students, because most of all young students do not have those kind of money. So they will target more on the older adults, for example, who already are working, or even more, who are already working in a more higher position in society, for example, managers in big companies, small companies, because frankly, those people have the money to buy the products. For example, young students like you guys, they will have specific events, specific promotion for like more cheaper products, probably under 10 mil. For example. Different types of events we have here. This is one of the most probably understandable, most often held event. This is the seminar, meaning you have a meeting, for example, and you have people need to come here and talk about a specific objective, about a topic. So they organize a seminar. It can be organized at a nice hotel. It can be organized at a nice meeting room. It can be small. It can be big. In general, it is one of the easier events that can be held. Next one is, for example, exhibitions. For example, so as Camelia already mentioned, it is under the MICE, very popular in hospitality, meaning you organize a big hall for a certain industry. People come and bring the products and present the products in the best way that they can imagine, as it is in their budget, in order for customers, consumers to come and have a look at the products, to hear a little bit about the information about the products, and maybe through that contact to create a sale, create a connection, a business relationship. And exhibitions can be held internationally. You know, probably in Germany, for example, where I am from, we do have the biggest tourism industry exhibition, so which is going to be held in April this year, and the Vietnamese government is opening the flights just because of those exhibitions, in order for Vietnamese entrepreneurs, Vietnamese companies to fly over to Germany and join those exhibitions. So meaning they are very impactful. They have a big meaning for the economy. And then this is also one of the very most popular events that everybody knows. For example, in our opening events of a new shop, of a new company, of a new a factory. It can be from small to very big. And this is, for example, an event that also everybody knows, the year-end party of a company, for example, or the anniversary of a company, for example. You can create a very nice environment in a nice restaurant or in a nice hotel, in a smaller scale or in a bigger scale. Music festivals, for example, this is from Tiger. This is an event that I personally did. That was 5 years ago. It was very big, with a big stage, with a lot of talents, famous singers for the brand Tiger Beer. So that was a branding event which was very impactful and very successful in order to push the product, the Tiger Beer, to consumers, for them to see, okay, again, there is this brand, there is this product that we actually already know, but because they're doing big events, so that's why we do remember them. Okay. Excuse me, I'm sorry. Okay, I'm sorry. Okay, so this is another event that you probably know or don't know. So this is one event that's been held here in Vietnam, the Color Me Run event by the company Post Active. So this is a sport event, including an afterwards music festival. So this is outside, it is outdoor, everybody comes together having fun, but with the purpose to create something impactful. So they usually have a small competition at the end of those events. So that's why a lot of young people love those events. And this is something probably, I'm not so sure if a lot of you know this kind of events. So this, we see it all the time. For example, at the supermarkets, these ladies are standing at a small booth, branding with products, and they offer you the products for a good promotion sale. They collect your data for, they give you a present if you buy more than 2 products of them, and so on. And those small events that in Vietnam very popular, they're called activations. So meaning those activations have the purpose in order, even within a supermarket, within a market, or within a shop, to let their own products stand out in comparison to the millions of other products that is already there at the location. And usually the ladies you see here, they are called promotion girls or promotion boys, PG or PB. They have the purpose to connect with you, to let you know about the promotion information, about the specific purpose of the product in a specific certain time. For example, we're having TED upcoming, so if you go to the supermarket, you're probably going to see them more often than, for example, in the summer vacation time. And this is also something that you probably have seen quite a lot on the streets, but probably do not know what it is. These are called PGs in road shows, and this is also one kind of event. So meaning same purpose as the activation. These young ladies and gentlemen are representing a brand, a certain brand, for a specific target at a specific point of time. So for example, again, for TED, for example, you're probably going to see them quite more often. They're going to have uniforms, very nice bikes, and they're going to cruise around to raise the awareness about the brand. For example, usually this is for mobile phone. For example, you will not notice because mobile phone is something that you use daily, you would not pay attention. But with a roadshow like this, with an activation like this, they're in front of you, they're on the street, you will see, okay, mobile phone. Okay, I remember them again. They are there, they're doing this. So this is something to raise awareness for a brand with the purpose to create more knowledge for the consumer. So okay, do you have any questions to these different types of events? And also, FYI, these are events that I personally did, so that's why I if you have questions about that, or if you want to know more about how they are done, or where you can do all these kind of events, just let me know. I can I would gladly explain it to you. Okay, so no questions about them. Oh, sorry. So shortly about how to manage. So a lot of you already said, what do I need in order to create an event like this? So we have teamwork, we have funding, we have communication, we have risk management. But I think what is very important is you have to know that event management is not done by one person, it's not done by two person. It has to be done by a big team. And in that team, there are certainly different types of people with different kinds of strengths. For example, we have to have, this is the creative section. For example, somebody who has a lot of ideas, somebody who can draw, somebody who's more active. So those people are going to work in different departments within an event management organization. For example, there are people who are good with numbers. So those people work for the accountant part of an event management. So there are endless possibilities, and event management requires endless of different type of skills of people. So just don't worry if you say, okay, I'm a little bit shy, I'm a little bit introvert, or I'm not creative. There are different departments within an event management for you to join in order to create an event, right? So for example, if you're good with hammer or nails, if you're good with I don't know, for example, IT technology, all of those things can be used within an event management. So there are no limits at all. Yeah, and with that being said, I would say young people just be a little bit more outgoing, or be a little bit more ready to experience and to experiment. So that would be what is needed for the event management or event industry. So if you don't have any questions now, let me know. If you have any questions later on, I will gladly answer it to you. So thank you for listening.
Okay, so thank you so much, Amy, for joining us today with so much useful information about events. And for me, and I believe all people here also agree with that, wedding is one of the most interesting and creative types of event in the wedding industry, as is weather changing and becoming very trendy now. May I ask here, there's anyone here who is interested in the wedding industry and want to become a wedding planner? Give me a thumbs up or drop me in the chat box. You can see the thumbs up and the icon. Anybody? Okay. Okay, I'm seeing a number of participants interested in the wedding industry. And of course, I would like to introduce an experienced wedding planner. Ms. Huang Anh will discuss with us about the wedding industry, and I will help her to share the screen now. Okay. Okay, hi, Ms. Huang Anh. Can you share with us some informations?